Jesus and Satan, cosmic brothers of the great architect, unveiling Gnostic mysteries. Deep within the human mind and the forgotten shadows of history lie stories that challenge our perception of reality. Lost narratives, forbidden texts, and ancient traditions whisper to us about impossible connections, about duality and cosmic balance. In this hidden universe, a provocative idea emerges: Jesus and Satan may, in essence, be two faces of the same source, two archetypes born from the light of the great architect. Marginalized and suppressed through the centuries, this theory invites us to look beyond accepted dogmas and explore a subtle reality, where good and evil are not merely opposing concepts but complementary manifestations of the same universal principle. Imagine a cosmos where light and darkness dance in perfect equilibrium. Here, Jesus is not only the well-known divine Son but also the cosmic Logos, the bearer of a universal message of love and harmony. Lucifer, known as Satan, is not merely the dark rebel but also the bringer of light, a symbol of knowledge and freedom. Cosmic brothers, archetypes reflecting the contrast necessary for the evolution of consciousness. The great architect, silent and enigmatic, observes as these two opposing energies intertwine their destinies in an infinite dance, while history, religion, and myth have tried to conceal the truth of this balance. Gnostic texts, forbidden and sidelined by institutional religion, reveal fragments of this alternative reality. They speak of emanations from a supreme principle, of beings that emerge from the same source yet choose different paths. In this vision, Jesus and Lucifer are not pure rivals but complementary. Understanding them as cosmic brothers challenges us to reconsider our perception of morality, freedom, and power. In their world, the rebel is not just an adversary, and the savior is not just a guide. Both are expressions of a single universal source. As we delve deeper, we discover that this mysterious relationship is not merely an intellectual exercise but a mirror of our own inner duality. Every hidden thought, every unspoken desire, every choice between light and darkness connects us to this cosmic dance. This documentary does not provide definitive answers. Instead, it invites you to explore, to question, to feel, and to see how the brother and savior, the rebel and the guide, can coexist within the same subtle universe. Every image, every text, every symbol you will encounter has been carefully selected to lead you through a labyrinth of mystery and revelation. We will examine Gnostic manuscripts, forgotten myths, and esoteric traditions that have survived for centuries only in the whispers of the initiated. We will explore hidden symbols in sacred architecture, numbers, and cosmic formulas, all suggesting that the truth about duality and cosmic brotherhood has always been within reach of those who seek with an open mind. As the story unfolds, you will feel the subtle pull of the unknown, the fascination with the forbidden, and the tension between what we know and what we sense might be. It is a journey that challenges you to look beyond the conventional, to recognize the shadows and the light within yourself, and to realize that perhaps good and evil are merely two facets of the same truth. This exploration is not for those who seek simple certainties. It is for those ready to enter the mystery, to leave prejudices at the door, and to allow themselves to be touched by the idea that, in a vast and complex universe, the brother and the rebel, the savior and the shadow, coexist in a balance that transcends time, religion, and ordinary perception. Capital 1: The Great Architect and His Emanations. Long before history was written and before religions raised their temples, there existed a silent, enigmatic source, a cosmic intelligence that ordered chaos and laid the foundations of the universe. This is the figure that esoteric traditions call the Great Architect, the supreme principle from which all things emanate. It is not a personal God, as understood in most dogmas, but an abstract presence, an unseen center orchestrating the flow of energies, light, and darkness. Everything that exists, from the smallest atom to the vastest galaxies, pulses according to the harmony imposed by this source. From the Great Architect emanated beings, entities carrying fragments of this perfect world. These emanations were not merely creations, they were extensions of universal consciousness, bearers of light and knowledge, each with a precise role in the cosmic balance. In Gnosticism and esoteric traditions, these beings are seen as archetypes, manifestations of the supreme principle exploring their own existence through distinct forms and roles. Here begins the story of Jesus and Lucifer. In a mystical sense, they are not born rivals but emanations of the same source. Both emerge from the light of the great architect, yet each chooses a different path, one embracing sacrifice and universal love, the other exploring knowledge and freedom, even through rebellion. Lucifer, before becoming known as Satan, was considered the light bringer. His name reflects his original purpose, to spread knowledge, awaken consciousness, and test the limits of free will. In Gnostic texts, the rebel is not absolute evil, he is the force prompting awareness to recognize its own independence, to understand both light and shadow within. Without such complementary forces, the balance of the universe could not be maintained. Jesus, as the Logos, manifests from the same source but embodies light in a form that inspires love, harmony, and sacrifice for the greater good. Both emanations reflect the same primary energy, yet each chooses a path that influences cosmic consciousness and the destiny of created beings. Understanding them as emanations of the great architect allows us to see the conflict between light and darkness not as a battle between good and evil, but as a necessary dance, a cosmic choreography ensuring evolution and balance. These archetypes have been reinterpreted over millennia, and our current perceptions are often filtered through institutionalized religion and myth. Yet Gnostic manuscripts preserve a different vision, one in which the divine does not judge, but experiments through its emanations. The great architect does not impose, it offers context and freedom, and it is from this freedom that Jesus and Lucifer chose to manifest. Knowledge, rebellion, sacrifice, and love are thus different expressions of the same source. As we explore symbols, numbers, and sacred architecture associated with these texts, we discover that the great architect not only created forms but left subtle clues about the relationship between these emanations. From ancient temples to sacred geometry, everything suggests a design in which light and darkness coexist and complement one another. This subtle harmony invites us to see Jesus and Lucifer not as opposing figures, but as reflections of the same fundamental reality. In this chapter, we will delve into the mystery of the great architect and his emanations, examining manuscripts, esoteric texts, and hidden symbols that have survived for millennia to understand how these archetypes influenced history, religion, and mythology. We will explore how duality is not a flaw but a necessary principle, and the cosmic brothers, Jesus and Lucifer, represent the manifestation of this subtle balance in its purest form. This journey does not offer certainties. It is an invitation to discover, feel, and understand that in the vast universe of emanations, nothing is absolute, and everything coexists in a fragile yet perfect equilibrium under the gaze of the great architect. By understanding this subtle relationship, we approach a deeper truth, that light and darkness, sacrifice and knowledge, rebellion and love, all emanate from the same source, and the universe would not be complete without this cosmic choreography. Chapter 2, Lucifer Before the Fall, the Cosmic Rebel. Long before the stories of heaven and hell were recorded, long before angels and mortals debated morality, there existed a being of radiant light, Lucifer, the morning star, the cosmic rebel. Not yet the figure of darkness that later traditions would fear, he was a direct emanation of the great architect, a reflection of divine consciousness designed to illuminate, inspire, and challenge. In this primordial time, Lucifer's purpose was not opposition, but revelation, a spark of intellect and freedom that would awaken the universe to awareness. Lucifer moved through the cosmos with grace and curiosity, observing the unfolding of creation. His light was not only physical, it was intellectual, spiritual, and symbolic. He carried the knowledge of the great architect within him, a fragment of the source itself. In the patterns of galaxies, in the silent geometry of creation, Lucifer recognized the perfection and potential of all that existed. He was a teacher, a guide, and a catalyst, designed to probe the boundaries of consciousness, to question and to illuminate paths unseen. Yet within this radiance lay tension, for the gift of choice carried with it the possibility of divergence. The great architect granted freedom to all emanations, and with freedom came the seed of rebellion. Lucifer, in his pursuit of understanding, began to explore aspects of existence that were forbidden, hidden, or overlooked. He sought knowledge not for domination, but for enlightenment, questioning the limitations imposed even by cosmic law. This pursuit of insight, however, would later be misunderstood as defiance, and the being who once shone as a guide would be cast as adversary. At the same time, another emanation moved through the cosmic order, Jesus, the Logos, the embodiment of harmony and love. While Lucifer sought illumination through inquiry, Jesus illuminated through compassion and alignment with the cosmic plan. Together, they represented the duality inherent in the emanations of the great architect: curiosity and devotion, freedom and obedience, rebellion and harmony. Though their paths appeared opposed, they were, in truth, complementary, two facets of the same universal principle, each necessary for the evolution of consciousness. Lucifer's brilliance was not limited to thought, it extended into the very fabric of reality. He influenced the emergence of worlds, inspired the first sparks of sentience, and tested the boundaries of energy and matter. He was a mirror reflecting the potential for both greatness and peril inherent in all creation. In some traditions, this is the true nature of the fall, not a punishment, but a choice, a divergence from one path toward another, dictated by the exercise of free will. To understand Lucifer before the fall is to see a being whose rebellion is not evil, but an expression of cosmic balance, the necessary counterpoint to harmony, the shadow that defines the light. Throughout millennia, this story has been obscured, rewritten, and transformed. Texts and symbols hint at the existence of a cosmic rebel, a bearer of light, whose role was misunderstood by mortal interpretations. Manuscripts, Gnostic texts, and esoteric writings reveal that Lucifer's journey is not merely one of pride or defiance, but of awakening and challenge, a reminder that true knowledge often demands courage, curiosity, and the willingness to question even the divine. As we explore this chapter, we will see how Lucifer's path intersected with the Logos, with Jesus as the embodiment of love and order. Their interactions are not simply conflictual, they are an intricate dance, a play of energies that shapes the unfolding of consciousness itself. The cosmic rebel challenges, provokes, and illuminates, while the Logos guides, nurtures, and harmonizes. Together, they exemplify the delicate equilibrium between light and shadow, freedom and alignment, rebellion and redemption. This chapter invites the observer to witness a being whose brilliance is misunderstood, whose rebellion is misnamed, and whose essence is inseparable from the source of all that exists. To understand Lucifer before the fall is to see the universe not as a battleground of good versus evil, but as a vast, interconnected web of energy, thought, and consciousness, where every choice ripples through creation. It is an invitation to explore the paradox of the cosmic rebel, to feel both the awe of his light and the caution of his divergence, and to recognize that his story is ultimately a reflection of the complexity, freedom, and potential embedded within all emanations of the great architect. In the next chapters, we will trace the consequences of this divergence, the interplay between rebellion and redemption, and the way in which the cosmic rebel continues to shape both seen and unseen realities, offering a mirror to humanity's own journey through light, shadow, and self-discovery. Chapter 3: Dual Forces of the Universe, Harmony and Rebellion. As the cosmos unfolded under the silent guidance of the great architect, the emanations of light and consciousness moved along paths both distinct and intertwined. Among them, two forces emerged with profound significance: Jesus, the Logos, the embodiment of harmony and love, and Lucifer, the cosmic rebel, the harbinger of knowledge and freedom. Though their origins were the same, their journeys diverged, creating a dynamic tension that would ripple through all existence. Jesus moved with grace, aligning with the rhythms of creation, embodying the principles of order, compassion, and universal love. His presence illuminated not only the physical realms but also the subtle dimensions of consciousness, guiding beings toward unity and understanding. Every word, every gesture, every emanation carried the essence of the Logos, the principle of harmony designed to balance the energies of the universe. Through his light, he offered clarity, purpose, and the promise of redemption, a beacon for those seeking alignment with the cosmic flow. Lucifer, on the other hand, radiated a different brilliance. His light challenged, questioned, and provoked. As the morning star, he illuminated the hidden pathways, exposing the unknown and encouraging consciousness to explore beyond imposed limits. His rebellion was not born of malice but of insight, a necessary tension that awakens awareness and catalyzes growth. Without the presence of this force, the universe would risk stagnation. Curiosity, doubt, and challenge are as essential as order and love. Lucifer's path intersected with Jesus not to oppose, but to complete, a cosmic duality where light and shadow, freedom and guidance, exist in delicate equilibrium. Throughout eternity, their interplay has been subtle yet profound. In the invisible realms, the Logos and the Rebel danced an intricate pattern, testing, teaching, and evolving creation itself. Where Jesus offered clarity, Lucifer provoked questions. Where harmony illuminated the path, rebellion expanded the horizons of thought. This duality is mirrored in every manifestation of life, in the growth of sentient beings, in the cycles of nature, and in the unfolding of consciousness. The universe thrives on this tension, the constant dialogue between alignment and divergence, certainty and exploration, love and freedom. Ancient texts and esoteric manuscripts hint at this interplay, often cloaked in allegory, symbolism, and metaphor. They describe a balance that transcends conventional notions of good and evil, suggesting that the universe is not a battlefield but a living, breathing system of complementary forces. Jesus and Lucifer are not enemies, they are co-creators of experience, reflections of the same source expressing itself through duality. To understand this is to see beyond simplistic moral constructs and recognize the cosmic necessity of both harmony and rebellion. The dual forces shape the evolution of consciousness across realms seen and unseen. When rebellion challenges stagnation, it awakens creativity, innovation, and self-realization. When harmony guides growth, it ensures coherence, purpose, and alignment with the underlying order of existence. Together, these forces illustrate a profound truth: the universe is neither rigid nor chaotic, but dynamically balanced, orchestrated by principles that manifest through both structure and disruption. In human history and myth, this interplay is echoed through stories of conflict and revelation. Rebellion questions tradition and dogma, harmony provides stability and meaning. The tension between these forces mirrors the inner struggles of the mind and spirit, reflecting the duality present in all conscious beings. Through understanding the cosmic dance of Jesus and Lucifer, we gain insight into the universal patterns that shape reality itself, cycles of creation and challenge, light and shadow, freedom and guidance. This chapter invites the observer to perceive a universe alive with complementary energies. Jesus and Lucifer, harmony and rebellion, are not just figures of legend, they are archetypal forces that continue to influence thought, action, and consciousness. By recognizing the necessity of both, we begin to understand the profound complexity of existence, that light cannot shine without shadow, and freedom cannot manifest without guidance. As we move forward, we will explore how these dual forces manifest in the material world, how their influence can be seen in the evolution of civilizations, consciousness, and the ongoing journey of humanity. The cosmic dance is eternal, subtle, and all-encompassing, a reminder that harmony and rebellion, while seemingly opposed, are the twin currents that sustain the universe. Chapter 4, Reflections of Duality, Lessons for Humanity. As the emanations of the great architect continue their eternal dance, the interplay of harmony and rebellion extends far beyond the cosmic realms. The energies of Jesus, the Logos, and Lucifer, the cosmic rebel, leave subtle but profound imprints upon the world we inhabit. Every ripple of light and shadow, every act of order or defiance, echoes in the material and spiritual dimensions, shaping civilizations, belief systems, and the evolution of consciousness. To understand these reflections is to glimpse the hidden mechanisms by which duality influences all that is visible and experienced. Throughout human history, myths, legends, and sacred texts have sought to interpret the presence of these dual forces. The archetype of the benevolent guide, the teacher of love and compassion, mirrors the influence of the Logos. Conversely, the rebel, the challenger of authority and questioner of limits, mirrors the energy of Lucifer. Both archetypes coexist within societies and within each individual, influencing choices, perspectives, and destinies. The presence of duality encourages growth, harmony provides stability, clarity, and moral guidance, while rebellion sparks curiosity, innovation, and the courage to explore the unknown. The impact of this cosmic balance is seen in the rise and fall of empires, in revolutions of thought, and in the personal journeys of self-discovery. When societies embrace harmony without challenge, stagnation can occur. Conversely, when rebellion lacks alignment, chaos ensues. It is only through the careful integration of both forces that evolution progresses, both collectively and individually. Humanity, in its endless striving for understanding, mirrors the cosmic dance of Jesus and Lucifer, a reflection of the eternal tension between light and shadow, obedience and freedom. Art, literature, and philosophy have long captured these forces. The tragic hero who defies authority yet seeks truth, the saint who embodies selfless love and order, both are manifestations of the same duality. Even within the individual, the choices we face between comfort and courage, conformity and exploration, mirror this cosmic equilibrium. By recognizing the influence of these archetypal forces, we begin to perceive our lives as microcosms of a greater, universal design, a reflection of the patterns first set in motion by the great architect. The lessons for humanity are subtle yet profound. To live wisely is not to seek only light or only freedom, but to understand and honor both. Shadow teaches discernment, tests the limits of understanding, and awakens potential. Light nurtures clarity, fosters connection, and sustains life. By embracing the interplay of harmony and rebellion, humans can navigate challenges with awareness, cultivating both moral integrity and creative courage. This awareness allows the observer to act with intention, understanding that each choice resonates through the web of existence, echoing the cosmic patterns of duality. Modern science and psychology, too, reflect this duality. The drive for knowledge, discovery, and innovation mirrors the energy of the cosmic rebel, while the search for ethics, cooperation, and societal well-being mirrors the logos. Recognizing the necessity of both forces can transform our approach to conflict, creativity, and personal growth. The universe, in its infinite complexity, thrives on this balance, so too must humanity learn to integrate these energies consciously, allowing both harmony and rebellion to guide evolution, insight, and enlightenment. Ultimately, Reflections of Duality reminds us that light cannot exist without shadow, freedom cannot thrive without guidance, and growth emerges from the tension between opposing yet complementary forces. The influence of Jesus and Lucifer is not confined to myth or legend. It is present in the very structure of reality, in the choices we make, and in the unfolding of consciousness across time and space. By observing, understanding, and integrating these forces, humanity can align with the eternal patterns of the cosmos, embracing both the guiding light of harmony and the illuminating spark of rebellion. In closing, the lessons of duality are a call to awareness, courage, and balance. They challenge us to recognize the interconnection of all things, to honor both creation and inquiry, and to walk the delicate path between order and freedom. Through this understanding, the observer glimpses the profound wisdom of the great architect, that the universe is not simply a place of rules or chaos, but a living, evolving reflection of harmony and rebellion, forever intertwined, forever shaping the journey of all sentient beings. Chapter 5, The Final Revelation, Harmony, Rebellion, and the Path Forward. As we reach the culmination of this journey through emanations, duality, and cosmic interplay, the reflections of harmony and rebellion reveal their deepest significance. The energies of Jesus, the Logos, and Lucifer, the cosmic rebel, continue to resonate throughout the universe, shaping not only celestial realms but the inner landscapes of human consciousness. Understanding this final revelation is not merely an intellectual pursuit. It is an invitation to perceive the profound interconnectedness of all existence and our role within it. The universe, orchestrated by the great architect, thrives on balance. Light and shadow, order and rebellion, do not exist in isolation. They are complementary forces whose interplay sustains creation. Humanity, as part of this grand design, mirrors these dynamics in thought, emotion, and action. Every choice, every act of courage or conformity, every moment of insight or surrender echoes the eternal dance of duality. By observing and understanding this pattern, we gain clarity on the forces that shape our destinies and the evolution of collective consciousness. Lucifer's energy challenges, provokes, and awakens. His rebellion invites humanity to question assumptions, to explore the unknown, and to cultivate the courage to expand awareness. Without this force, creativity would stagnate, and the pursuit of knowledge would be diminished. Conversely, the Logos manifests through guidance, compassion, and alignment, offering clarity, coherence, and ethical grounding. Together, these forces teach that growth emerges not from unilateral action, but from the dynamic equilibrium of contrast, where freedom meets responsibility and curiosity meets wisdom. Throughout history, the echoes of these energies have manifested in human endeavors, in the rise of civilizations, in the revolutions of thought, in the creation of art, philosophy, and science. The myths, legends, and sacred texts serve as mirrors of this cosmic pattern, reminding us that duality is not a flaw to overcome, but a principle to embrace. Each of us carries reflections of harmony and rebellion within, and the path forward lies in recognizing, integrating, and balancing these energies. This final revelation extends beyond morality or dogma. It is an insight into the architecture of consciousness itself, the subtle patterns by which light and shadow interact to foster awareness, growth, and evolution. By understanding the cosmic dance of Jesus and Lucifer, humans can approach life with intentionality, seeing challenges as opportunities and contradictions as teachers. Duality becomes a lens through which we perceive reality, a guide for navigating complexity, and a framework for personal and collective transformation. The path forward is not a fixed route but a dynamic journey. It requires observation, discernment, and courage. It asks us to honor both the Logos and the rebel within ourselves and in the world, to act with insight, and to recognize that every decision ripples through the web of existence. Light inspires compassion and alignment, shadow inspires exploration and awareness. Together, they reveal the underlying design of creation and illuminate the potential for conscious evolution. Ultimately, the final revelation is an invitation to perceive the universe as a living reflection of harmony and rebellion, to embrace the interplay of opposing forces, and to recognize our place within the cosmic tapestry. By aligning with these eternal patterns, humanity can cultivate understanding, resilience, and wisdom, stepping into a future shaped by awareness rather than fear, by choice rather than passivity. As the great architect's plan unfolds, we are reminded that duality is not a contradiction but a fundamental principle of existence. The energies of Jesus and Lucifer continue to guide, test, and illuminate, offering lessons that transcend time, space, and culture. The path forward is clear yet subtle. Integrate the light and shadow within, honor the balance of the cosmos, and walk consciously within the eternal dance of harmony and rebellion, shaping not only our destiny but the destiny of the universe itself. Whispers of the eternal dance. And so, the cosmic dance continues, unseen, yet ever present, weaving through stars, minds, and hearts. Harmony and rebellion ripple in silent waves, shaping destinies we may never fully comprehend. Perhaps the light guides us, or perhaps the shadow awakens the truths we are too afraid to see. Every choice, every whisper of curiosity, resonates through the tapestry of existence. The Logos and the rebel are not distant myths, they dwell within, reflecting our fears, our desires, and the paths we dare not tread. And as you watch the universe unfold, ask yourself, which force stirs your spirit? Which spark will you follow, the clarity of light or the fire of inquiry? Or perhaps, the answer lies somewhere in between, in the subtle, eternal balance that binds all things together. The dance is endless. The echoes are yours to hear.